Hey everyone, I'm your Mayor Marcel Micheals, and I'm joined today by Garth Griffiths. We want to take a moment and kind of use this unique way to talk about something extremely important to our community, and that's our hospital. Well, technically, it's not a hospital, it's a healthcare center, and an assessment is on its way. We'll get to that part in a second. What I did want to do is a lot of people are like, I bought a truck from this guy right here. What is he doing with the Healthcare Foundation? Garth, a little bit about yourself and the history in the work you do for the Hinton Healthcare Foundation.
Well, thanks, Marcel. You know, it's interesting. When I came here in 1970, it was I was very young at the time, really young at the time. And I remember wanting to get involved in something within the town of Hinton. And the thing I decided to get involved in was healthcare. So we got involved with the healthcare board, and we were involved with the hospital I've been involved with the hospital since 1970. And a number of years ago, the premier at the time decided that health boards were not necessary anymore. So we ended up turning a lot of our attention to the Healthcare Foundation. And the Healthcare Foundation started off with some people in Hinton that had raised a bunch of money, pennies, and there was a Mabel Lee and a Grace Hart, and these people came along, and we were concerned that this money wasn't going to stay in Hinton. We thought, you know, if we're not careful, it's going to go into a big pot and it'll be gone. So we decided to form a foundation, and that was the beginning of the Hinton Healthcare Foundation. Since then, we're not a hospital board anymore, and we actually have no what's the word I'm looking for? No political power as far as running the hospital is concerned. But what we are involved in is providing different things for the hospital to help them to maintain healthcare within our community. So we do that by fundraising, but we also do it by putting pressure on different groups to see if there's certain things we can get accomplished. And so we're kind of a quasi influential board, so to speak.
So we know we have some of the best doctors, nurses, staff here in Hinton. Now, the hospital, we see neighboring communities getting a new hospital. We see upgrades. Can you talk a little bit about the history of this hospital and kind of where we are today?
You bet. In 1977, we built this hospital. When I first came here, our hospital was already, I think, about 25 years old. If Duncan Murray is watching this, or Fiona Galbraith, they're going to correct me, I'm sure. But in 1977, we asked to build a new hospital because our old one was literally falling apart. So in 1977, we built this hospital here, and it was very modern at the time, and it was a very good structure, and it's served Hinton extremely well. And we have attracted a lot of good medical staff and a lot of good nursing staff to work in our hospital, as well as other people that work up there as well. So it's been a great hospital, but 1977 is quite a while ago. So it's basically, let me start a bit over. One of the things that we do provide at the hospital is a lot of good services within our hospital. And it's because of that we've been able to maintain it the way it is. But things have changed, and there's certain aspects of the hospital that do need to be changed. And for that reason, it's time Hinton got an upgrade or did some work, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, you're right. The hospitals around us have all gotten new buildings and new facilities and stuff, and I think Hinton's been kind of left out of the loop. And so it's time for us to see what we can do.
All right, now let's get to the really, really good stuff. And I know you fought for this immensely, and we'll talk about that a bit more later. But how important is this assessment?
You know what, Marcel, I'm going to tell you that getting this assessment done is huge. We were told 3 or 4 years ago that an assessment was going to come. And so we've been kind of pushing it hard to get this done for the last 2 or 3 years. And for them to finally say they're going to do one this year is just a great start, because what they're going to do is go into our hospital, see what we need, we're not going to get a new hospital. I don't think the province or anybody has got those kind of funds these days, but we could do a lot of things to enhance and to improve our hospital. And we can do it at a lot lower rate than building a new one. I believe the one in Edson was $275 million or something of that sort. I don't think the government's got that kind of money, but even if we get some, we can probably turn our hospital into a very up-to-date modern hospital.
So I know you're too modest to talk about how big of a role you played. I've known you for many, many, many years, and the word assessment has been part of your vocabulary. So I do personally want to thank you. But for all the viewers, can you talk a little bit about who do we thank for kind of getting to this point today, other than yourself? Who are the people?
Well, you know what? The Healthcare Foundation has really done a lot of work in Hinton, and I think most people understand who the foundation is. And it's really to provide good healthcare for our community. So one of the things is we want the hospital and the health unit and other healthcare in Hinton to be the best that we can possibly be. So as citizens within our community and as people that are concerned about our health, it just has to happen that we keep on top of it. So this year, when we finally got some people to give us a hand, our MP or MLA, I'm sorry, Martin Long and Marcel, I mean, don't be humble. You take lots of credit as well. It's because of you guys, and tied that in with people like Fiona Galbraith, Linda Allen, Ken Brady. There's just a lot of people that have really contributed hard to get to us to this point. Now, this is just the assessment, but at least we're finally getting them to agree that we need some things done in our hospital. As soon as that assessment's done, then we will really have lots of fun because we're going to go after whatever we can.
Well, for everyone watching, this assessment will kind of tell us what we need, and then the provincial government, it will be their opportunity to step up and bring these fixes, bring these new additions to our hospital. So we're really looking forward to it. So Garth, on behalf of our community, we thank everyone who's played a major role, including yourself. This is great news for our community, and we look forward to this assessment, and then for the conversation for the price tag and building this here in beautiful Hinton to keep what I had mentioned before. We have amazing doctors, services, nurses, healthcare workers here in Hinton, and they deserve to be in a state-of-the-art facility. So thanks for everything you've done, and really looking forward to this.
One thing, Marcel, it's so important to have a good healthcare system in our community, not only for all the people that live here, but for all the businesses that are attracting people to come to our community. It's so important to have a good healthcare system, and we have one. And we just want to make sure we continue to enhance it and to grow it. Again, I want to thank you too for all your help. And if anybody wants to get a hold of me for any reason at all in regards to the Healthcare Foundation or anything to do with what we're doing, please give me a call. You can reach me at 865-3354 and call me anytime. I'd be more than pleased to hear what you have to say.
That's awesome, Garth. Well, again, thanks so much. And I can't wait to do this again. Once the assessment's in and we know what we're going to ask, we're going to do this again, update the community if you're up for it, and kind of make sure that, hey, now that we have the assessment, we're really going to bring this home soon. So thanks again, and looking forward to a second one of these in the near future.
Thanks, Marcel, and thanks for allowing us to do it this way.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.